Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm Vamsi Kandikonda. I'm delighted to be your host for today's webinar. So I'm the founder and CEO of Spice5 Ventures, and I also co-founded balabharati.com, kinaptech.com. Today, I'm excited to lead you on a journey through the world of prompt engineering and pave the way towards establishing the private GPT. So today's agenda, let's start with the significance of GPT and the power behind prompts. Then we'll go into the introduction of fine-tuning the GPT. And after that, we'll discuss the advantages of using private GPT and steps towards implementing it. And our session will wrap up with a focus on ethical and unbiased AI practices. Let's go ahead and start. I'm going to share my screen. I hope you all can see my screen. Okay, let's begin. Friends, we are about to witness the most rapid adoption of AI in the human history. So here you can see a small graph where the usage of GPT past probably 18 months, and then how it is going to be in next few months. You see a straight upward tick, right? So in a just matter of months, so this prompt engineering approach will transform the way we interact with artificial intelligence and unleashing the exponential increase in AI capabilities that has never been seen before in the human history. So the prompt engineering is the key to unlock the full potential of large language models, also called LLMs, and it's poised to change the world in a way that we can only imagine. Okay. So here is a statement like from Forbes article. So Robin Lee, the co-founder and CEO of Baidu, declared in January that in 10 years, half of the world's jobs will be in the prompt engineering. Half. That's a huge chunk. And those who cannot write prompts will be obsolete. So that's a Forbes article published in January. So some people may think that this is a bold claim, but it is the one that I supposed to be supported by the evidence. Like if you see how it is going right now. So the demand of prompt engineers is so high, the companies are willing to pay like top of the dollars for their skills. So prompt engineers specialize in different areas of applications such as generating code, testing outputs, creating texts, generating the art, etc. So let's see what is prompt and why prompt matters. So a prompt is a question or a statement used to get a specific response from a system or an individual. So prompts matter because they guide the direction and the quality of the response, ensuring the clarity and the relevant communication, relevance in the communication. So prompts acts as a steering wheel, guiding the GPT through the expansive sea of information it's been trained on. So they set the context, tone, and expectation for the model's response. So a properly crafted prompt optimizes the accuracy and understanding between the user and the system. So I got a question from one of my friends asking why these AI models, see when these AI models are so intelligent to understand human language, why prompt engineering in the first place? That's a valid question. That's a very good question. To answer this, just like imagine that you have a highly skilled chef who has mastered cuisines from all over the world. So you're hungry and you want to eat something. So you could say, make me food, right? Given the chef's vast experience, he could whip up anything from a simple sandwich to a gourmet dish. So without specific instructions, what you get might be delicious, but might not be what you want, what you had in your mind to satisfy your cravings. Right? So now, if you give a little bit more guidance, something like, I would like an Italian pasta, right? The chef can narrow down the choices and create a dish that is more in line with your desires. So this chef is like AI language model, LLM. So while it has a vast amount of knowledge and capabilities, the output it provides can vary greatly based on the instructions or prompts you give it, right? So that is my answer. So boosting the employee's productivity 10 times through prompt engineering. So in today's world, businesses strive for efficiency. So what if there is a way to supercharge your team's productivity by a factor of 10 or more, maybe more than 10? There is a way. It is possible. So prompt engineering leverages the power of AI, specifically the GPT model, to optimize and automate various tasks. From drafting documents, generating reports, answering complex queries, conducting market research, brainstorming innovative solutions, managing client communications, developing product roadmaps, monitoring customer, etc. You name it. Anything. So a well-crafted prompt can help employees accomplish their task in a fraction of user time. So empowering your team with the skill to harness this tool can exponentially increase output without sacrificing the quality. Now let's see what is the power of prompts in GPT. So the power of prompts in generative pre-trained transformer models lies in their ability to harness and direct the vast knowledge and capabilities of the model. So a well-crafted prompt can lead a highly accurate, contextually relevant, and insightful outputs, making GPT an invaluable tool across all kinds of applications, from content creation to answering intricate questions, etc. Anything. So conversely, a vague or poorly constructed prompt might yield less relevant or unexpected outputs. Thus, the efficacy of the GPT's response isn't it about the model's advanced architecture, but also significantly depends on the quality and the clarity of the prompts provided by the user. So this synergy between the human input and the machine intelligence exemplifies the true potential of AI collaboration. Okay, so now let's see what is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is both an art and science. So as a model like GPT becomes more sophisticated, so the methods and the techniques for the prompt engineering will continue to evolve and expand. So the prompt engineering refers to the practice of crafting prompts inputs in a way that guides the machine learning model, especially the language models like GPT, to produce desired outputs. So as I already mentioned, a properly crafted prompt can greatly enhance the precision and the usefulness of a model's answer. Okay, so now let us go through fundamental principles of effective prompt engineering. So the prompt engineering is the practice of consciously crafting the input queries to guide the machine learning models, particularly the language models like GPT, to produce more accurate and contextually relevant responses. So by refining the prompt's clarity, context, and structure, user can achieve a better and more predictable results from the model. So think of a machine learning model as an employee. The clearer and more precise you are in your instructions, which are prompts, the closer the outcome, which is a response, will be to what you decide. Right? Just as you would provide a clear guidance to your team or to get a desired result, when working with a model, your prompt should be crafted precisely convey outcome you are aiming for. So in the context of your business, this means you understand your goals, the data you have, and tailor your requests or commands to the tool or a model in a way that it aligns these goals. So in sense, there are three basic principles: clarity, precision, and alignment. Clarity should be very clear about what you want. Precision, avoid vagueness, be specific in your instructions. Alignment, ensure that your response align with the desired outcome and your business goals. Excuse me. So by applying these three principles, whenever you're interacting with an AI model or even when you're leading a team, you can more effectively guide the behavior and output to align with your objectives or with your business objectives. Just to give you a simple analogy, just like think a machine learning model as an employee. So let's understand how prompt engineering has the potential to change the entire world. So imagine you're hiring a new employee with a vast knowledge, rapid processing capabilities, or capable of handling multiple tasks across different domains. And this employee, however, thrives best with specific instructions and clear guidance. So now think of prompt engineering as a skill of effectively directing this employee. So it involves giving precise instructions, questions, or guidance to ensure the best outcome of the employee. So much like customizing your directives to an employee, considering their expertise and capabilities based on those. So the prompt engineering refines inputs to achieve a specific result from the machine learning model. There are like several principles or techniques of prompt engineering. So here I listed a bunch of them. It will take a lot of time to go through it. Probably in my live webinar, I can go through it clearly and then give more examples. Here, just because of the time factor, I'm going to quickly go through few items and then I'll move on to next. So if you see here, I have like total 70 plus prompt engineering techniques or principles. So I'll go back and then I'll see. So we already saw clarity, context, and conciseness. All those three we already covered. And let's start with zero-shot learning or few-shot learning, or you can also one-shot learning or two-shot learning. It's nothing but giving an example. So what is zero-shot learning technique in GPT? So for models like GPT, providing an example can guide the model to produce the desired output or a format or a structure. So you give one example or two examples or three examples or any number of examples you can give. You can give those examples and then ask GPT to produce in the same way. So that technique is nothing but zero-shot learning or few-shot learning. I have a few examples for each of those. I can, like when we go through it, you'll see in the next few slides. Iterative refinement. So this involves testing the model's response to a prompt and refining the prompt based on the outcome and repeating this process until your desired output is achieved. So those are all a few things. I can go through all of these things in the live webinar. Since this is recording, I'm going to just finish like very fast. So temperature P and temperature or top P settings. While these are not strictly a prompt considerations in a traditional sense, adjusting these parameters can influence the randomness or focus of the model output. The higher the temperature value, make the output more random, and while lower, it makes more deterministic. In the same way, top P, the nuclear sampling, also can be adjusted to influence the diversity of the output. Feedback loops. In some advanced applications, setting up a system where the model evaluates or refines its own output based on the certain criteria and be a form of prompt engineering. Yes. Yeah. So I have an example for this too. So we'll quickly go through the real examples because of the time constraint here. Okay. So one example here is clarity. So as I mentioned, the prompt should be clear, unambiguous, and specify the exact information or the format of the desired response. So here I was asking ChatGPT flight tomorrow. Of course, this prompt is vague. The system doesn't know the departure city, destination, preferred time, or any other specifics about the desired flight. So the right way of asking is, I need a morning flight from Los Angeles to Chicago tomorrow. Any options? Okay, so this is one example for clarity. I don't need to give like example for this, but context. Providing the model with a relevant context can help generating a more appropriate response. So here, tell me about the war. So the prompt is vague without context. GPT doesn't know which war you're talking about. There are several wars happened in the history, right? So the right way of asking is, tell me about World War II, specifically the events leading up to it in Europe. This prompt provides context. It not only specifies the World War II, but also narrows it down, the focus to the events leading up to a particular region, Europe. So ensuring a more targeted and relevant response. Conciseness. So while being clear is very vital, and it is also beneficial to keep the prompt concise and avoid overloading with the model with unnecessary details. So here the wrong way of asking is, so I have been thinking about possibly maybe blah, 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 right? So this prompt is overly verbose. It contains many filler words that directly don't mean anything to a particular question. So the right way of asking is, what are the health benefits of regular exercise? So this prompt is very concise, up to the point, and clearly asking about the health advantages of consistent physical activity. Okay, so now let's see the next one. I think I already mentioned the few shot. So wrong way of asking is drug X info. So overly vague, it doesn't indicate what about the drug and what exactly you are looking for. So right way of asking is, can you provide a detailed mechanism of action of a drug X and its implications in treating cardiovascular diseases? So the prompt is specific and clearly indicates the researcher is looking for the detailed information on how the drug works, right? Especially concerning the cardiovascular diseases. Iterative refinement. Tell me about Leonardo's artwork, right? In the subsequent question, you are saying the one with women. So this is ambiguous. Leonardo painted several artworks featuring women. So the right way of asking is this iterative refinement. So first, tell me about the Leonardo's most famous portrait. So then you can say, I'm referring to the portrait of a woman with a mysterious smile. So the third question, subsequent question is, can you provide the details about Mona Lisa? You are directly asking the person's name, right? Each iteration narrows down the query. Now, explicit constraints. So in prompt engineering, explicit constraints refers to the clarity and directly specifying the conditions or limitations within a prompt to guide the output of a model. So by setting these constraints, users can better shape the model's response to align with the specific requirement or a context. So wrong way of asking, tell me about sharks. So the prompt is too broad, and the model could respond with the general information about the sharks from all. So the right way of asking is provide information about the sharks species, especially found in Atlantic Ocean. So by adding the explicit constraint specifically found in Atlantic Ocean. So the user is guiding the model to focus its answer on sharks from that particular region. Feedback loops. So refer to a process where the response generated by the model are analyzed and fed back into the system for the improvement. So this iterative process helps in refining the model's response over the time. So by continuously gathering the feedback and adjusting based on the feedback, the model can better align with the user's expectations and produce more accurate and contextually relevant outputs. So the initial prompt is product support, right? So the assistant is asking which product do you need to support for. So the feedback user, so this response is too vague. So actually how you can ask is the user product support assistant, certainly, please help with the product. Example, product A, product B, product C, right? So you can specifically tell a particular product. After it returns like different kinds of products. Question phrasing. So prompt question phrasing is about the structuring the question in a manner that clearly conveys the desired information. So the way the question is phrased can influence the model's response. Like for instance, asking, describe the process of photosynthesis versus what is photosynthesis may yield different kinds of details. So here the wrong way of asking is onions tears why. So the prompt is fragmented, lack clarity. It might be understood, but it's well phrased question, but it tends to better responses. So the right way of asking is, why do onions make cry when you cut them? Make us cry, yeah. So the prompt is well phrased question, clearly asking about the reason behind the common experience when cutting the onions. So it sets the stage for a direct and a comprehensive explanation. Meta prompts. I think these are meta prompts is also very important ones. So meta prompts involves instructing the model about how to approach or structure its answer. So let's consider an example, a study related query. So like, or you say a wrong way of asking is, what is photosynthesis? So while this will yield an answer, there is no context provided about the intended audience or the desired structure or the explanation, etc. So the right way of answering is explain photosynthesis as if we are talking to a 6-year-old kid. So this prompt not only asks information about the photosynthesis, but also it provides meta instruction regarding the level and the style of the answer. Okay, so I have more like this. I think probably in the live webinar, I'm going to cover all of those. But here, I'm going to quickly finish it up because next Friday, I'm giving you another live webinar on this with more information than what I have right now. So I'll quickly discuss fine-tuning. So the fine-tuning refers to the process of training a pre-trained model. It's already trained model. We take the pre-trained model or a full-fledged one or a smaller one, and we'll train them on a specific data set or a task to refine the customized behavior, to refine and customize its behavior. So while pre-trained models are very powerful, the ability to fine-tune offers them an avenue to tailor their capabilities to the specific needs like steerability, output formatting, understanding the human emotions, etc. So steerability in the sense, steerability refers to the ability to guide and control the model's output based on certain guidelines or requirements. So the output formatting is involving the model generating the outputs in a structured and an expected format consistently. And emotions or tones, or this refers to the model's ability to interpret the emotional state or the intent of the user based on the provided input and respond in a manner that is empathetic or appropriate to the context. Okay, so now this is one example I see. Like whenever you guys are using, I think you guys might have seen this disclaimer in ChatGPT. Everything you input into ChatGPT becomes a part of the model, which means the information that potentially available to everyone. Like when you are asking a question, it'll take the question, it'll keep it into your in its database, and it will be trained. The model will be trained on that particular question. So do not share anything confidential, private, or anything you would mind posting on a public forum, right? So if you try to copy paste any code or anything from your desktop to the ChatGPT, make sure you don't have any keys or any sensitive information present in that code. So otherwise that will be available for everyone to look at it. So it's like a public restroom and AI. So information hygiene, right? So that's a very important. So it might sound overly over the top, but using open GPT models can be compared to choosing a public restroom when you have your private one available. So when you interact with the AI models like GPT, you're immersing yourself in a vast pool of information. But much like a public facilities, not every piece of information you encounter is correct. So there are risks of misinformation, biases, and inaccuracies. So just as you would wash your hands after visiting a restroom, it's crucial to sanitize the knowledge you obtain from AI by always validating, seeking out diverse sources, and ensure that the information aligns with the truth and your specific needs. So that leads to, why do we want private GPT? So a private GPT ensures data confidentiality, customized model behavior, and compliance with the industry regulations, offering like organizations a tailored and a secure AI experience. Okay, so now what are the options of hosting a private GPT model? So there are four options. I just listed here only three. These are most popular. On-premise. So this is the most secure option, and the model will be hosted in your own server. However, it can be more costly, expensive, a little bit expensive compared to other three options. And also you need to maintain your hardware and then software by yourself. And then we'll see how much it costs in the next slide. So the other option is in the cloud. So this is the most cost-effective and scalable option than hosting on-premise. So even if you host it on the cloud, it will be private for yours. That will be your cloud, your GPT. So there are many cloud providers like that offer the ChatGPT services like Google, Amazon, Azure. And I have a demo for Azure in this. Probably I'm going to skip the demo in this presentation, but I'm going to show it in a live presentation. And then the third one is a hybrid. This is a combination of on-premise and cloud hosting. So this model can be hosted on-premise for the sensitive data and for the cloud, less sensitive data. So this can be a good option for the organizations who want more security on on-premise hosting, while the scalability of the cloud-based hosting. So now if you see from hosting cost point of view, if you want to host on your premise, this is the exact cost of the hosting usually depends on like number of factors, including the size of the size and complexity of the model, whether you want to do like 3.5 or 4 or any other GPT models. And also depends on the traffic it receives. So usually you need like for GPT 3.5 Turbo, you need a 10 gigabyte GPT 3.5. For 10 gigabyte GPT 3.5 turbo model, it costs around $260,000, $64,000 per year. So it's going to be around $20,000 per month. So here are some specific hardware recommendations. Server with 128 GB RAM, 1 terabyte storage, and with NVIDIA A100 or above. For any NVIDIA A100 itself costs like $7,000. So a high-speed storage, SSD, and of course, an internet speed 1 gigabyte per second or more. So if you want to host GPT on your local machine, then GPT All is for you. So this is one of the, I evaluated 5-6 local GPT softwares, and this is the best among those. I'm still using this like for the past few months. So GPT-4 All is an advanced AI language model designed to provide the accurate and relevant information across various domains. So it offers customizable, scalable, efficient solution tailored to meet the needs of individuals, businesses, educators, etc. So this is available open source. You can download and then start using it. I have it here on my machine right now. I wanted to show, but I wanted to keep this for a live demo coming Friday. So this is one. And then ALPAKA is the second one. When I evaluated, this also looks good. So this also runs locally. You don't need internet connection. Even for GPT-4 also, you don't need internet connection. It can run locally. It don't send any information to anybody. It's all locally. And actually, in the latest version of GPT-4, you can also give references to your local folders, local files, and it will add into the it will train the model with all those documents. Basically, it can work as a search functionality for entire your hard disk. So that feature they recently released just a week back. ALPAKA is also good. For this also I have a demo, but right now I'm not going to show because I'm going to save it for Friday's demo. And then AutoGPT demo. So this is another very good one. So AutoGPT is an experimental open source application that uses OpenAI's GPT-4 or 3.5 to achieve the goals in a natural language. So it has a potential to automate a wide range of tasks like creating the websites, writing the code, conducting research, managing social media, you name it. So basically it can take a task and it will send it to the GPT, OpenAI GPT, and it will ask what are the steps in the tasks, right? So once it gets all the steps, it will spin up one agent for each task and it will send it again. And each agent will go on the finished task and then it will come back and then return with whatever the information it got. And the main task will compile all those and then put together and finish the main task. This is a really great architecture, but I'll show you a demo, but not right now. I'm going to show it, keep it for Friday's demo. Okay, and then OpenAI demo. This also, as I mentioned, I'm going to show it on Friday's demo. If you want to see this demo, join this Friday in LinkedIn Live. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you all for joining this. I really appreciate your time and engagement. Let's stay connected and implement like what we have learned. And try to attend my next seminar, which is on every Friday. Like I'm thinking of giving some kind of information, like whatever I learned. Every Friday, I'm thinking of hosting like one webinar on mostly on prompt engineering. So thank you. See you next Friday. Have a good day, good evening. Thank you. Bye.